What's going on, everybody? I'm the Goods on YouTube, TGsoGood everywhere else. We're back with Synergy2K, the ultimate my career experience. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys how you can have a Create a Legend experience. Some of you may not be familiar with Create a Legend, may not have been playing NBA 2K back then when that was a game mode, but I'm going to show you. So we've got Paul George in game. It's the 2013-2014 version. And so here, as you can see, I've got like a 2015-2016 Kyrie and then the Paul George that's in the game. So I'm going to help you guys out with showing you how you can use real players. Now, before I show you how to use it, I'm going to show you what I did. Let me go over the badges. Now, sometimes it takes a little time. Just let it load up. Just got to load the data. As you can see here, if you look through all of these badges, I think, oh shoot, looks like I might have missed one badge over there, Dead Eye. But if you look at all of these badges, these are all the badges that this version of Paul George has in the game. All right, so no, I'm not going to delete this. I accidentally clicked that. But if you look over here, you see Paul George, every badge right here: contact finisher, cross key scorer, fancy footwork, lob city finisher. They're silver. If you look up here, I added them correctly. So those 4 badges that I named, they're silver. I just got to make sure I update Dead Eye to the correct tier. But anyway, the badges, I've added them. They are correct in the tool. So let's go and look at attributes. All right, it's loaded up. So all the attributes here, I've taken the time to get all his attributes from in the game and put them on this save file within Synergy2K. So let me scroll over to attributes. Let's look at his 3-pointer, his mid-range and 3-pointer. So 3-pointer is 84, mid is 82, and free throw is 86. So over here, you'll see 84 for 3, 82 for mid, and 86 for free throw. But if you go through all the attribute ratings, you'll see that I have updated them to match the in-game version. And the reason I'm doing that is so that you guys could take this player DNA of this version of Paul George, no matter what system you're on, because he's rated the same in all the systems. You can go in to edit player and export his player DNA. So like I'm doing right now, I'm saving his player DNA. I'm just going to name it PG24. So this is before he was wearing the number 13. Gonna name it PG24 and just save it. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add this version of Paul George to a different roster. So if I want to go into my league with that version of Paul George inside of a new roster, that's what I would do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a fictional roster real quick. I'll use this one here, because I'm just giving you examples of how you can use this. And I'm just going to find a lowly rated player and overwrite that player. So you guys can use this tool in different ways. However your imagination wants to use it, that's how you can use it. It's all about just having fun, playing the game, using your imagination. That's what games are for, you know. It's just an exercise of the mind. All right, we're going to import player DNA over this guy. All right, there's PG24 right there. So I imported the attributes and his appearance. Don't mind some clipping going on with the jersey. Don't mind that. All right. So again, if you're on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, or PC, you can do this. You can use this. I'm going to remove the changes. I'm going to show you something else you could do. So what you could do is, if you didn't necessarily want to use Paul George, you could import just his attribute ratings. So I'm just going to go to import attributes, and we're going to keep the same appearance that we already have. So I've imported the attributes. So now what I'm doing, instead of creating a legend, I'm I'm creating a career as if I had those same ratings as that version of Paul George. I just need to change his height to be the same. I think, how tall is Paul George? Is he 6'9"? I think he's 6'9". I'm going to put him at 6'9". So to try to match up with Paul George. I think Paul George is 6'9". So anyway, I'm going to confirm changes. Now you can see his rating is 92, just like Paul George's was. That 2013-2014 version of Paul George was a 92 overall. This version of this guy is a 92 overall. He has all Paul George's badges and attributes. And then I would just save this roster. I'm going to exit without saving because I don't want to actually do that. I was just showing you guys an example. But what I would do from there is I would just, track my games and stuff like that. Now, one thing you want to remember is to, well, let me hold on one second, guys. We can look at Kyrie. I did the same thing for Kyrie. Got all his real stats and everything. The only thing is right now I'm missing his badges because I forgot to add them. So I'm going to take my time to add them. But that Paul George save file, I'm going to have a link down in this video description. It's going to be a link to that Paul George save file. And you just go in game and go to the classic 2013-2014 Pacers and save that player DNA. Now, right here, I'm showing you where your save files are. So you see these three things right here. So your save files are inside of that user data folder for Synergy2K. So you can see, like right there, it says Paul George, my Paul George save file, my Kyrie Irving save file. These are their .xml. You can open that up in Notepad++ if you want. That's what I do. But anyway, so I'm going to delete this file. And I'm going to show you guys, once you download the link that's down in the description, let me delete this. Once you download that link, you will drag the Paul George file into this user data folder. All right, you see it's in Synergy2K and then user data. But anyway, so then once you drag it in, start up the tool, and Paul George, his save file will be there with no games played, and you can start playing your games. Just remember to set your players' potential to the lowest possible potential in game. Just remember, because you're going to use this tool to increase his overall rating and individual attribute ratings and badges, stuff like that. So you won't need 2K to make him progress for you. You'll be doing all the progression here. Also, another thing up here at the top, if you click on this settings icon, you can change the season length. By default, I have the season length set to 82 on this Paul George save file. But if you're playing less than 82 games, you're going to want to change that season length. Let's say you have it at 14 games, then change the season length to 14, press save. I'm backing out just to make sure everything saved correctly. Yeah, so you'll get that multiplier down here if you're playing less games. That way you can make sure you're progressing fast enough, because you don't want to progress too fast if you're only playing 14 games in a myleague season and then you're progressing slow. That's not going to be fun. So you want that multiplier so you can get more XP, so you can upgrade quicker if you're playing less games. But anyway, hopefully this was all understandable. Until next time, guys, I'm gone.